I'm afraid sometimes. The train moves forward and we look backward. We see what's already passed us by, what's passing us by, and I can't tell you nor me what's ahead. And it's frightening, isn't it? But it's past and it's passing and we're still moving forward, and I listen and I tell. Even when we've passed through the dark. Even when we're passing through that dark now. And the stars, they still laugh and they sing and they cry. It's beautiful, isn't it? They keep shining, those stars. And sometimes someone sits, passes over a fine cigar, plays a song, settles in silence, together. They keep shining. You keep on shining, all right? Pardon my rambling. I'm listening now.
What the hell did you do? We caught that bird for a reason. You went on ahead and brought her back. Scarlet, listen. I told you those fuckers can't be trusted. Doesn't matter that they're running from underneath Navane's boot. Doesn't matter if they're changing who they say they are, disguises, their magic, whatever. It doesn't matter if they know that the commander of theirs is planning something, or if they're for it or against it. They're no good for you and they're no good for me. But you listen to me, Jacques. I tell you what's good for you. You see how hair of my brother? No, he wasn't around. Seems he ran off early. Should've known. I knew them. Pardon? I knew them. Well, that's just it, clear as day, isn't it, darling? You knew them and you regretted it, didn't you? They seem to think you have done some terrible things. Don't you worry about a word coming out of their mouths. No fool trusts what's good for them. I suppose. You suppose, but I know. I know that you probably feel like you've had a long day already. Dimitri sits back, folds his arms. But unfortunate news for you, Mr. Goodlove. I'm afraid that you should all probably not stay around here for too long. We are only just outside the border. The quickest you can get yourselves out of here, the better.
I don't think we're planning to linger here.
First of all, before we continue on with this conversation, I should make sure to clarify. Your friend, Commander Umbra, of course, is an ally to us, but whatever you say from now on should probably be kept from her knowledge, just in case.
Understood.
Right. Your friend is doing fine. I have left him with his guardian, Georgette. I don't know if he has told you about her.
A little bit. What exactly is this?
He looks like he's about to answer and then stops himself. I don't think you need to worry about that for now. She is a secluded sort of person, doesn't usually open her doors, does not like to be known.
Forgive me though, but we do need to know, or at least where and when we're meeting Nox.
He is going to lay low for some time with her. She is helping him find a way to keep himself from Scarlet's prying. It probably does not surprise you there down south. Unfortunately, I did not have the technological knowledge for helping him, but it seems she does. She's a smart woman.
Do the trains still run to Enosh?
As far as I know, yes.
And they stop there? Even though it's, well, the things that are happening.
What exactly? it's like you're trying to get around the TikTok algorithm.
Dimitri and Kira both made the same exact face to that, which is a sort of confused turn of the head.
People know what's happening in Enosh, right? Do you know what's happening?
What do I get with a 9?
They mostly just kind of seem confused about what the specifics are. Kian's question. Dimitri glances at Kira and back to you.
Sorry, what exactly did happen?
Well, the border wall fell. The Guardian is presumed dead or gone. It's oceans now.
The people are refugees. Displaced. They have found new homes in Donning and Freya.
That's why, when you met us, we were doing a favor so they would open their borders.
Because you had something to do with it?
Well, I wouldn't.
We don't know for sure.
We went through a weak spot in the walls.
One that existed prior to our arrival, but we exploited it nonetheless.
But if it was really just us leaving one stone outside of the walls, something else was probably going on with the Guardian beforehand. I don't think
it was just us.
Dalen, who's been pretty quiet and just sitting very still beside Dimitri, finally moves, he nods. I highly doubt that a missing stone or two is enough to kill a Guardian.
he invisibly breathes a sigh of relief. I think every time somebody else says something like this about the Enosh situation, it helps them believe it a little bit more.
And the train should still be going unaffected. It runs on the ley lines, not under the Guardian's purview.
But are they gonna decide to stop there? Just if, we could meet Ox in Enosh, he could take the train up.
I don't know if it would actually be making a stop there, but it won't necessarily stop him from getting off the train there.
Yeah.
Tuck
How
and roll.
hard can it be to jump off a moving train?
She really has a history.
Yeah, I was honest before, it was just a bit slower moving.
If he was raised by Georgette, then he should have no problem.
Yeah, we can meet him halfway.
So I guess that's what we're doing next.
What are you trying to do?
Find whatever Commander Nevane is looking for and find it first.
Dalen looks at you a bit curiously. And then what? What will you do with it?
Whatever is necessary. Or simply bury it if it should not be undug in the first place.
Depends what we find, I think.
And, well, I don't know, they seem suspiciously like they might be connected to some degree. You know, taking care of Scar. That was why we originally hired you, all back in the first place.
And I have every intention of following through.
I didn't think you didn't, considering we just originally needed help finding her, and we've definitely done that now. But getting her off Ox's back, there was that moment with Curate where I shot her and it affected Ox, and so...
Do you think that could be the result of one of his tattoos? There were several curse marks on him.
Possibly?
If we're lucky, Georgette will have solved that issue by the time we find him again.
Seems like it's a bit more than that, though, doesn't it? I told you about trying to scry on Scar, and I just scried on Ox instead, right? Did I mention that?
No, this would be the first time you're mentioning it.
Well, okay, so that happened. I guess it was kind of like the Falcon and the things that happened. Sorry, I tried to scry on the Falcon, and I just saw myself instead. It was weird though.
Perhaps some part of it attached itself to you?
The point being, it felt like that a bit.
What, like they're one and the same?
I don't know if you can call it like that.
Have you tried scrying on Ox, or just scrying on Scar?
I could try.
I would be interested to know what you get.
It feels kind of like, I mean, I can try it. I'd rather try it when he's back and he knows that that's what we're trying to do, not...
Ox and Scarlet have always been... He's clearly, like, searching for a word. Strange, dare I say.
So you knew them before?
Well, no, I knew Georgette.
Strange. How?
We limped our wrists!
Dear audience, we limped our wrists.
In unison.
In unison. That is something harder for me to answer.
I only heard about them in letters. Dalen nods slowly again. We had on and off contact with Georgette over the years. Just heard very succinct summaries of what she had been up to. And she was a person of few words. But we heard of them, enough to recognize him. They were born of difficult circumstances, from what we understand, and perhaps that is all, but I know Georgette had reason to worry about them beyond the typical parent of a couple of troubled teenagers.
My mirror's broken anyway, so
Do you want me to mend it?
you can do that.
Yeah. You should have said so.
Just, remember to be careful about how often you cast here.
Right.
Should I know what that means?
Just if you use up a lot of magic in one spot, it can attract more potions things.
And then you'll be out of spells.
That's why, like, people don't teleport places, because you can't really teleport into another guardian's territory without giving them whatever they need, and then if you teleport into the oceans, you can, but it can be very dangerous because that's a very high level spell.
Did the winds have like a way to circumvent this, or
They just, I mean, the winds had a lot of Fey-touched people around, and also traveled a lot, so like if, you know, they attracted something to one spot, they would be moving on quickly enough.
I'd love it if you can.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll take the mirror out, and
He will safely tuck it away for later. What the fuck is up with Scarnox?
Actually, Daddy, Kieran is a twin.
You're what?
yeah,
Yeah, always has been.
Sorry.
Are
both campaigns come on.
Oh yeah.
are twins non-super? There's nothing like special about that inherently, right?
Not inherently. Statistically, it is more likely that you will have twins if you were Fey-touched. But beyond that, there, you know, it's not like someone sees a twin and it assumes that there's some weird magic happening. It's just like, oh, maybe they have a Fey-touched background.
Anyway, I think that's we'll meet Ox there in Enosh, and that's about as far as we planned.
Will you be able to pass this along to Georgette?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can also check in.
Good.
And it will be some time, just to make that clear, before he's ready to come and meet you. Apparently they're building something.
When you say sometime, do you mean like weeks? Months?
Potentially weeks. I don't think it should take months.
Well, we won't be taking the train to Enosh, so that will be our time spent.
We need to rest up anyway. Keen looks at Henry.
Asleep on his feet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not right now.
Well, of course, just in general. It'd be good to catch up together with the winds, if that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like that.
Is there anything that you needed from us? You've done so much to help us.
No, just keep us updated if you can. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help you. As we said before, I think we may at this point have mutual goals. And Kirit, of course, the door is always open.
Thank you.
Should we get ourselves packed up then? Or
I mean, now that we've talked about it, I think it would be good to move on from this place for a bit.
Do you think Ophelia and Errol are right? Or
I'm sure they're alright.
Is it too quiet out there?
But we should let them know that we're gonna head out. Start packing up.
yes. Thank you again for your assistance.
Of course. Do you... Kian likes Dalen.
Yeah.
Would you like to roll a perception check?
I would love to.
This is just a little treat for you. It's not really important to the plot of the...
But it's so important to me now.
Dalen is so important to us.
Come on. Okay, it's not a 4, it's a 14.
Kian, as you and I know, you like to look at Dalen.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
As this whole conversation has gone on, I think it's sort of, you've slowly picked up on the change. Like at first, it seemed like he was moving with a stiffness that sort of comes from like being sore, as if he had just been running around helping some people escape an island or something. But it seems like a little bit more precise than that. Maybe mechanical. Small stilted movements. And perhaps as you're turning to leave, you notice a bit of a gray tinge to his fingertips on his right hand.
As we're all packing up and getting ready to leave, Keen stays behind for a second and sort of reaches out a hand hesitantly. I don't do so much healing anymore, but are you alright?
He's quiet for a moment and then he smiles. Yes, I'm fine. It's for the best I don't spend too much time outside of the borders. That's all.
Is this part of... You mentioned a curse or something.
The oceans do tend to worsen the effects of most curses, yes.
But you're alright?
Yes. Do Dalen and Dimitri know that Kian's a little vampire guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Dalen eyes you with a mirrored concern to the look you give him. It may feel a bit more difficult for you to traverse these lands from now on. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Just stop at islands when you can.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to be more careful now. It'll even out with our, with Henry's new powers.
You're used to this, you'll be fine. I should also say, tell Virgil not to tell Umbra about the necklace.
Yeah, I'll let him know that. Why?
It's best that information does not get to her.
Should we not be trusting her? I know. Or is this just because of Nadine?
I think she's trustworthy, but she knows as well as we do that some things are best kept completely outside of their circle. Also, she didn't want him to have it.
What? It's just a necklace, right, bro?
But it doesn't do anything, does it?
As far as we know, no, it doesn't.
Okay, I'm really confused right now.
What do I have in my pocket?
I feel like I should be asking you more questions about this, but
I'm going to leave it up to him to explain.
I'll ask him.
It's not an explosive, we're not Georgette. It's alright.
Well, that's just worrying on a different level. Okay. I'll trust you. And I'll ask Virgil about it. Thank you. Really. Can't say it enough. Get home safe.
Safe travels.
And Keen goes outside the tent to...
We're packing up.
When we approach the tent, do we hear sounds of conversing?
You would be able to hear a low murmur of conversation.
I think once Virgil hears that they're still talking, he doesn't want to interrupt. So he will go around, putting out the fire and packing up externals of the camp. Petting Orna, the essentials.
And
Once they hear you doing that, Ophelia will step out and give you a little wave and start help packing things up.
Kara will wave back and make an uncertain thumbs up motion.
She kind of shrugs and gives a thumbs up and then also gives a little hand wiggle
Oh, yes.
and then nods and then looks over to Virgil with a look of tight-lipped sympathy and then back to Kirit and then gives another kind of hand wiggle.
Oh, he shrinks.
Awesome.
He'll be just a little guy by the end of the campaign, 5 inches tall.
Keen will take the time as they're packing up to take Virgil to the side.
Is this about your mirror? I haven't gotten the chance yet.
No, it's not about that. Have you looked at that necklace?
No, I suppose I should, though. He will pull out the pouch and uncover this mystery.
The chain is a very nice, thin silver. And at the end is a very simple wire-wrapped pendant. It looks a bit simpler than most of the things Umbra makes. She actually does mostly like metal work that would require more heat than simple wire. And on the inside is a very small white shard.
Yeah, do I recognize it as a piece of Triumph's gem?
It looks like it could be.
Cool.
I don't... Dimitri said not... They don't want Umbra to know about it.
Yeah, I can see why.
What is it? You do know what it is?
Yeah, it's a piece of soul gem, and he'll tuck it away. Yeah, I won't tell her.
Whose?
Triumph. The first of us to die.
Sorry, I don't know how to deal with it.
No, you're good.
Okay, yeah, just keep it safe, I guess.
Yeah.
Keen will help finish up packing.
You know, pack it?
It's morning now. Marigolds?
Yeah, you can resummon Marigold.
I think Virgil sees Kian performing that ritual and is like, I guess the oceans are no place for a bunny. And he will copy. I don't know that he goes into it with a form in mind, but as he sits there with her, he will let her choose.
Keen would let Marigold choose her own form as well. They would hold this puffin and look at her. I don't think someone's gonna recognize me because of a pigeon or whatever you want to be. So you can be a puffin if you want, but you don't have to.
And you, an hour later,
Yeah.
you find yourself with a little falcon. She lets out a little coo.
It's falcon but spelled PH.
Yeah.
What blossom?
When you summoned her last time, you wanted something to comfort someone.
Yeah.
What is it that you are thinking about as you think of her new form, and sort of what you're hoping to have her gain or have yourself gain?
It sounded like you're like safety almost.
Yeah, something that won't get snatched up because she's a giant, cute rabbit. Something that's more independent than a bunny.
Can you roll the d20 for me, please?
7.
You find yourself with a small lion in front of you.
Define small.
Small for a lion.
Elaborate.
Like the size of a Saint Bernard.
Like a maned lion or like peony?
Like peony.
Okay. He will just sit there with her and scratch behind the ears.
She stay the same color always.
Like when
That like creamy
familiars-
gray.
I like when familiars stay the same color no matter what form they're in, unless otherwise instructed. So yeah, she'll stay, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
She stays the same creamy gray color. As you are just finishing packing up, Henry, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
He turns.
And as if out of thin air, Vincent is standing behind you with Nadia beside. She gives you a hesitant smile. You're all heading out then?
Yes, yes.
You want us to come with you, or...
Kian,
What's going on over there?
is it your Vincent and Nadia to sort of ride if they come with us, or would that be unappreciated by next company?
Ophelia looks over.
Who the hell are Vincent and Nadia?
Friends of mine. Ophelia, this is Vincent, and that's Nadia. Again, friends of mine. But they asked if they could or should accompany us, but I wasn't sure if that would be all right.
That won't be necessary.
And she turns back to whatever it is she is packing up at the moment. I don't know, removing the stakes for the tent.
The what?
Vincent winces.
Yeah, we thought we might not be the most welcome with all your secret shit.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this isn't just a you thing. I don't think they really like me either, so
Well, you're going with them, aren't you?
wouldn't want to stack them on top of each other. And, I'll take the brunt of the awkwardness from that. Don't need to subject you to that.
Alright.
Do you need to come with us?
No. We got our ways around.
But you want to.
Ophelia gives you a pointed glare, and Nadia shakes their head.
No, that's alright. Are you gonna be okay though, Henry?
We'll take care of him, I promise.
Do you three maybe want, like, some time? We can give you a moment to sort this out.
No, I'll be alright. I'll send you a message, I think, once we get to our next destination, just to let you know that I'm still alive.
Yeah, we would like to hear that at least. I don't know if we, really apologized.
For what?
Just, the circumstances for how we met. Now we were doing some things under the table that weren't so honest, with you. We have been, and we are sorry about that.
Well, I suppose at least you've said something about it.
Vincent looks, until you say that, Vincent looks like a little bit almost proud in a way of Nadia for saying so. Like they both had some hesitance behind this apology. But both their faces fall a bit when you say that.
Listen, Henry, I mean, you understand, right?
I guess understanding. I can understand without being pleased with the situation, even after everything.
Yeah, we don't expect you to be pleased, but just understand it. That's all. You can be pissed if you want, but at this point, hopefully you understand.
I suppose it wouldn't have come all the way up to dawning if it had just ended there. Considering I haven't paid you anything this time.
Yeah, we'll let this one pass.
I suppose then I'll have to take that off of my tally list for things that I can hold over if I needed to.
They both laugh a bit as well, and Nadia kind of shrugs.
No, I think you can probably hold this one over us for a little longer, actually.
Well, then I'll try to be reasonable when I exchange it.
Yeah, you let us know if you need anything. If we can help with anything. We'll be back around somewhere, obviously, and, well, if you're sneaking around a little more, we can certainly help you out.
No, I'll be sure to let you know, especially if being in the oceans, since we have somewhat more limited resources, but,
Alright. We'll make ourselves scarce.
Thank you. Not for the scarcity part, but I just, for, again, coming out up here and assisting us.
Yeah, anytime. They kind of take a little step back. Vincent gives you a little, clap on the back. You think that she's going to go in for a hug, and then it sort of changes last second and just becomes a little pat on the back. And then they each give you one final nod before they vanish with impressive speed into the shadows of the woods. And Ophelia just sighs. It's too many people.
Well, that's why I asked.
Yes, thank you, Henry.
Oh, it's back.
Yikes.
You can stand now, and she's...
That's how you talk to a man who literally died last night.
Yes.
You have to just be pathetic and nothing else.
I don't know
That's how it works.
do that. Actually, though.
All right, we should go.
Yes. I have the things for Errol if they would like to walk on their own 2 feet to meet the winds.
Is that a possibility?
I think so. He will, produce the cloak and the glasses. I suppose I don't know if it will be completely painless, but it was supposed to help.
Well, don't ask me.
Okay. May I? I think she still has the bag.
She does. She hands it over.
This is incredibly odd. Again, not in a bad way. Just anyway. Yes, here.
Okay. He will open the bag. Errol, is this a good time? I have something for you.
I don't know what time it is.
Okay. He will enter the bag.
Find him in person form, standing there.
Hi. I have your things from Dalen and Dimitri. I think they should help with the sunlight if you wanted to get out of here.
He takes the glasses, just looks them over, hangs them on his shirt collar, inspects the cloak.
And this, if it is not to your liking, it is the buttons that are enchanted, so we can find you something nicer.
They nod and throw it over their shoulders.
Not exactly my style, but it will do for now.
We'll find you something better.
As long as it is better than Mr. Goodlove's coat, that should be fine.
Yeah, I think that's attainable.
It was not an insult to the coat, how it looks, just the fact that it did practically nothing against blocking the sunlight, which was unexpected.
This should be different. We were going to head over to the Winds and their carriage. I'll go first. Out of the, yeah.
I should probably follow, shouldn't I?
You could remain in here until we reach the carriage if you prefer. But I thought this might offer some sense of normalcy.
Okay. He puts on the glasses. They're little round ones, very dark lenses.
Okay. He will make to leave the bag.
I think Ophelia helps you both out. Errol does flinch a bit at the light, but it is clearly nothing like before. He is able to stand there, and with eyes downcast and the hood of the cloak up, he seems able enough to exist here.
Are you alright?
I suppose. So are we going, or...?
I think we're going now. Keen will send Marigold up to scout.
Right, you can all follow me and Marigold.
Ophelia leads you all through the woods. She walks a bit slowly, a bit cautiously, but also, if anyone is keeping an eye out to notice, at the perfect pace to stay close to Henry, who you may notice is moving with a bit more unsteadiness than usual.
I want to use my spell that I keep forgetting to use. Detect magic, because I can do that at will.
Right.
And I want to look at the party as Keen's walking from behind, and also look down at their disguise.
Okay.
And see if it's visible via magic.
Well, as far as everyone else, you detect magic glowing from the bag of holding, which I assume Virgil is carrying.
I think so.
You detect it from both earrings, from the place wherever the pouch is with the necklace that they gave to Virgil. Kieran's new necklace, the sunglasses, everything expected, basically. When you look down at yourself, can you please roll a d20?
12.
It does not show up. It looks like you are not in disguise.
Sweet.
You're a wolf.
It looks like you are not magically disguised and you just look like Breeze.
That's unclear. You look like the disguise that you set for yourself. You look like Breeze,
Thank
but
you.
it doesn't show up as a magical effect underneath this spell.
Fascinating.
First sign of the winds that you see is a small deer with pronged small antlers. Ophelia glances back to Kian, and she has a bit of lightness to her expression, and she grins. Surprise, Penny is here.
You found her?
More like she found us, actually. But yes, sure, I'll take the credit.
Kian will go straight up to her and give her an excellent little scritch under her ears.
Penny is pretty tame, but steps back a bit as you approach, a bit skittish.
Kian will disguise themselves as pre-campaign Kian.
She quickly relaxes.
Describe yourself.
They look a bit younger, but not much. And they're blonde with that halo of white, and
It's a highlight in their hair. It's not a literal halo over
Yes.
their head.
yes.
Little anime shine.
Yeah. Death a kid. Sorry. Wearing their blue tunic, green gambeson. What they were wearing at the beginning of the campaign. And they hold out a hand for her to sniff.
Yeah, she relaxes once Keen changes and happily rests her chin on Keen's hand for the previously mentioned scritches. And beyond her, you see the caravan is there. Sitting up on the driver's bench is the lanky, tall form of Lizzie, who glances over and sees Kian, glances away again, looks back to the book that he's reading.
You know what? In this minute, Kian is just focused on Penny.
The others are inside if you want to go say hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Thanks.
Hello, Mr. Goodlove.
Hello. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Karen. Anyways.
Lizzie closes the book. Lysandriel is my name. Are you the newcomers going to be traveling with us?
Well, yes and no.
I think we're all gonna be traveling with you for a while.
Hello. Why did you wait a second? We've already... Okay. And Lizzie kind of peers past you all like he's looking for someone else. And Errol, who has been kind of lagging behind as you get closer, steps out into view and gives a polite small bow, and Lizzie returns it. I think you are talking about me, but I think the rest are planning to stay, it sounds like, for some time.
Not on a permanent basis. And it does depend on where our directions are heading.
Lizzie looks down to Ophelia, who has a bit of a sheepish expression on her face, and grins up at him. He looks down at her. Are you serious? Yes, it's just for them to get settled. And Lizzie sighs. Okay, go inside. Go on inside. It's more comfortable, certainly. Are we heading off, then? Ophelia looks to you all.
There's no reason to stay, I don't think.
Yeah, we would be glad for your company and your hospitality.
Excellent. Let's go then. And she, for the first time, shows a hint of her anxiety as she tries to usher you into the caravan, sort of looking over her shoulder, or looking over your shoulders, I guess, as you enter.
Just have my goat and my lion following outside.
Yeah.
Just vibing.
They can come inside. Sorry, Orna definitely no.
There's so many creatures.
No, she can go hang out up front with the deer.
Lizzie looks at her, and before you step inside, pardon me if this is rude in some way. Could she help pull the carriage?
Certainly, if that agrees with her. I can help hitch her.
He nods.
Yeah, he'll go help her get settled up at the front.
Lizzie hops down as well and helps you out, getting her all harnessed into the place of the deer, and gives you a nod of thanks. Hops back up.
He just pats her on the side of the neck as he goes and says, "Listen to him for some time, yeah?"
as you all take off with a pretty decent speed that you're a bit unaccustomed to in your typically deer-drawn carriage. Would you like to describe the inside again?
The first room that you see is you can tell that every inch of space was used to the best of its ability. There's a small table near one side with a window looking out behind. And there's a small wood fire stove. Cabinets just kind of line the edges. And there's a lot of stuff, but it seems to all have its place. And you can see 3 doors on the opposite wall. This room looks like the size of the whole carriage.
Oh, okay.
But there are 3 other doors.
Kian, you take in the familiar room, and also a couple of familiar faces and an unfamiliar face. Sitting at the window seat together, clearly in the middle of conversation until you've all stepped in, are Linnea, the one of the 2 dwarvish twins with blue hair, which maybe was pink when we first introduced her, but now I'm saying it's blue. You also see, I'm doing this for you, May. You also see the blacksmith, True, from Dawning.
We know that lady.
Who looks up and crosses her arms and looks at you all as if you just walked in to her space. And next to her is another tiefling who sort of resembles her, a dusky orange-skinned tiefling man with short-cropped dark hair who has a much softer, friendlier expression on his face when you all step inside. Linnea immediately stands up and runs over to Kian and just wraps them in a big hug. What? Did you dye your hair?
Oh, it's just magic right now. Penny didn't recognize me.
Penny didn't recognize you?
Well, I was looking like... And they snap their fingers.
Oh. She gives a little look over. I like it.
I think it's a good look.
It is. Hey y'all, welcome to our home. I don't really know what the deal is exactly, and Ophelia laughs. Yes, everything has sort of been planned on the fly. We're all going to Enosh together and then going our separate ways, correct?
Yeah,
Mr. Goodlove just needs a place to rest up a bit. We've had a hard... he has had a hard day, and I suppose I don't know exactly why, what we're going to do to make use of the rest of you. Are you any good at cooking, chores, things like that?
I can sew.
Perfect.
I can mend.
Wait,
It's similar, but that's fine.
I can clean things with magic.
There we go. Okay. So, temporarily welcome to the winds, I guess. Oh, and she gestures over to the other 2. True is looking a bit stormy and sighs as you all glance over. This is my brother. His name's Annan.
It's really powerful.
Her tail flicks, and he laughs and stands up to greet you all properly. I'm going to be helping you all in Enosh. I've heard there's some need of assistance.
We would be very grateful for it. Thank you.
I have some experience traveling the oceans myself, so I should be able to help if anyone is in need, or if there are some people who are still not interested in joining the islands that have agreed to take in refugees.
excellent.
Are you going to be needing our assistance? True's and mine. He looks over to Henry when he asks that, with a look of genuine concern.
I mean, given where we're going and doing, I don't think we'll be needing any further assistance. It's mostly just getting there, Don't want to. Their safety in numbers is what I mean.
Of course, I didn't mean to pry where I'm not wanted. In True size, you're all very secretive. No one really knows what you're up to, and you're just sort of here.
Well, we maybe don't exactly know all that we're up to either. So,
Perhaps once all of this is over, we might revisit your offer.
Yes, I think you probably need some help.
Listen, We have an evading situation to take care of first, and then we can think about other things.
And I have a home here. Hopefully, once all that is figured out.
We're talking about housing situations? I already have one established myself. The property is in my name, not my parents'.
I thought you were running away?
Well, if you mean from dawning, that estate was never in my name. I have owned, it's been however many years, 5 years now.
It's called the Goodlove Estate, and you're Goodlove.
But that's not quite how it works. It's my parents are also good love. That's why the red line is good love and good love.
Well, it's not anymore.
I mean, well, for me, but wait,
The rail line is not Goodlove and Goodlove anymore.
that's just one rail line. There's more than one rail line that is underneath the good love and good love name. We sold that line, besides, to.
I
and,
don't
you know,
really care. She just sits back in the seat again and looks out the window and winces and sort of shrugs to you apologetically. Sorry, it's been a long day.
It's been a long 24 hours for myself as well, Dad.
Would you all like to find somewhere to rest for the day?
Is there gonna be space?
Linnea laughs. I mean, you know. Yes and no.
We're gonna have to snuggle.
Exactly, you're gonna have to snuggle. But that's hopefully not so bad. You're friends and all, aren't you?
I don't know.
Henry,
We can find a
nod.
We can find a space for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking a little pale. Let's sit you
I
down.
just don't want anyone to get the wrong idea of us. Not that I wouldn't, all of you, I mean, but is that common in the wind skin?
What, snuggling?
Or friends.
Just wanted, I mean, how do I put this in polite conversation?
I don't think anybody was implying what you're thinking about,
No,
Henry.
I'm curious. What are you about to say?
Are you very close friends in the winds? Physically?
Kim nods along. Yeah, we're pretty close.
Ophelia and Linnea both like have a hand over their mouth, and they're just watching this.
You think Lizzie can hear outside?
Absolutely. Errol, who is standing next to Ophelia, looks over to Kian with a raised brow, and Linnea just nods. Yeah, we're pretty close. Real good friends, you could say.
Well, I guess it just, if I'm ever taking guard situation, I'll keep that in mind.
Alright, I think it's about time I set the record straight. We are close friends. In the literal sense, we are close friends. And we don't have a lot of space here. However, how can I put this politely? We're not just fucking all night each other in our little hammocks in the sleeping quarters.
That does sound impractical.
It sounds incredibly... Yes.
Well, I didn't think every night, but I'm just...
Oh my god.
Anyway, did you have perhaps some laundry you needed?
Yeah,
washed,
do you need
or-
like vegetables chopped? Is there something we can do?
Let's show you to the sleeping quarters first. If you have anything you wish to set down, we have some cabinets for you. Just come with me. She opens one of the doors into another small room with they're stacked hammocks, like bunk beds but hammocks, just sort of scattered throughout the room.
There are 2 beds, too.
And 2 beds.
For the snugglers.
On the other sides of the
Yeah, for the snugglers. So feel free to take wherever you'd like. I apologize if everyone seems a bit thrown off by this. We don't usually have new people, really. Or if we do, it would be 1 or 2.
No, we're the ones intruding.
You and True and Annan. And, well, we've been having to help ship people around a bit from Enosh. So it's been an odd time.
Where is everybody else?
Don't worry, they're all right. They're back, helping people stay settled. Nimble is surprisingly good at crowd management.
Interesting, I wouldn't have thought that.
I think it's the claws.
crowd menacement.
Yeah.
Menacement.
Let's get Henry sitting down before he falls over.
If you all need a moment by yourselves, you don't have to get straight to work with laundry or whatever. You are guests here. And Mr. Goodlove, I've not explained to everyone exactly what is going on because I don't really know either, but you should not be bothered by them. And if you are bothered by them, then don't take it seriously.
Well, it takes a lot to bother me, so...
Bet.
I think we're all fine. I think you're maybe a bit more worried than you need to be.
This is leagues better than the ocean.
That is true. I apologize if I seem a bit jittery. Well, yeah, there's just a lot going on.
Keen puts a hand on her shoulder. Is Lene in the room?
No. Ophelia walked you all in here and shut the door behind her, and the other three got back to whatever they were talking about before. So it was something pretty intense, clearly, like their expressions change as they turn back to each other.
Is something else going on?
Not anything that you're unaware of, I don't think. We're a bit overwhelmed with distress calls.
Yeah.
I haven't been around, and Lachlan is gone, and...
It's okay. Well, we can help. I can help. Maybe it's good that we're traveling with you for a bit. There's extra hands.
Yes, I do appreciate that.
I don't believe I'll be incapacitated the entire journey. So, hopefully sooner rather than later I can assist too.
Do you need anything?
In this moment?
Yes.
Probably just a nap.
That makes sense. All right, I'll leave you all to get settled. I'll make sure the others are quiet and don't bother you too much.
Okay.
And she glances to Errol, who has sat himself down on just the nearest hammock. And we do have a room specifically designed for vampires. The others, of course, do not know. They never knew about Lachlan, and they don't know about you, Errol, and that is up to you to decide. But I assumed you all wanted to spend some time together. So, and she looks a bit pointedly at Errol, who looks a bit pointedly down at the floor.
Oh no.
Just let me know if you need anything. And she steps back outside and closes the door behind her, and in a small crack in the door that she creates as she opens it, you see everyone else's heads immediately raise and turn, peer in curiously to you all, and the door shuts. And you are all left to your own devices in this cozy little snuggle room. Wait. What do you all do?
I will tend to my beans, and I will spend some time petting my new lion, and I think after a while he will venture outside and try and pick up on any little things he can help out with.
Does Henry take a little nap?
Yes, he takes one of the hammocks that are at the very bottom, and it's just the easiest. And then Delilah is underneath him, not necessarily fully asleep, but just kind of like that dog half dozing.
Yeah. So she can still be on the lookout.
Kian probably finds a moment to sneak away, and he's gonna be sad in Lachlan's room for a minute. He puts the banjo back on its hook on the wall and looks out the window. They will return after helping with lunch to the sleeping quarters.
The snuggle room.
The snuggle room, as it were.
Kier feels uncomfortable. He's surrounded by a bunch of new people. And he immediately goes back out to get assigned something productive. He wants to make himself useful and perhaps not such a nuisance, unexpected presence.
See like a window booth with a little table.
Okay. Anne is there peeling some potatoes and gestures for you to come and join him. And seems to take your presence as a blessing. Like, it's clear that he also is feeling a bit of this discomfort about being here. And Errol stays in the room, also just sitting on the hammock, maybe reading one of the books from one of the Ox smut books from the bag of holding.
And is Henry napping all day?
Yeah.
Virgil also won't just abandon Errol in there. He will, like, once he's done with little chores, go back in there, and he will actually pull out his journal and start attempting a self-portrait as promised, and just keep quiet company.
You have a pretty peaceful day. There's the occasional annoyed comment from True, but apart from that, everyone seems pretty much friendly in here. At this point, if Henry has had a full day's rest, it would be evening. Errol hand Virgil a bag of jasmine tea. Can you make some of this?
Yeah, just a minute. He will get up to see about a kettle situation and make enough hot water for everybody.
You all are allowed to bring your dinner in here. I think Henry would make sense that this is what you were woken up for, making sure. I think Linnea's like, gotta make sure that he eats at least something today. Here, and hands over a bowl of a nice hearty stew.
Fuck yeah.
With potatoes in it.
Yeah, with potatoes in it, of course. Lovingly peeled. And it's a oddly comfortable and cozy place to spend your night in the oceans. You can still, from in here, feel the presence of the oceans around you and beneath you. This is not an island, and you're not traveling on a ley line. But it does almost seem like these walls could ward it off somewhat. It almost feels like it protects you. If you're all quiet for a bit, there's a faint clink as Errol sets down the teacup and lets out a heavy sigh. Ophelia wanted me to speak with you all, if that is okay.
Go ahead.
I think perhaps I have not seemed like I am grateful for what you have done for me with all of this, and I know to most of you I am a stranger. So, Lioness, I am happy to have a place to go. And I did not mean to give the impression that this was something I was not willing to do.
I'm sorry for how I acted about it as well. It just, it felt like there was a lot you weren't saying.
There is, yes, but it is not about you or against you in any way. You have only been trying to help. You have helped, I should not just say trying.
I also, got a bit in my head about it. Kind of wish that I could stay with them. And I can't. Didn't mean to put that on you, though.
I sort of got that impression. But you can come back. You're going to be fine.
I hope you like them as much as I do. They're good people to be around.
Ophelia seems very nice. The tiefling out there with the tail always moving back and forth. She seems a bit testy, but perhaps, I mean, I have been described the same way, so we will have to find common ground.
She does seem that way, yes. Also, I don't think that she's going to be here long term.
So she is not one of your Wynn's friends.
No, I just met her in Donning.
So you don't know anything about her. I wonder why she is that way. Who made her that way? My God, she's so rude.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to be around. I bet she's really nice under it all, though.
Oh, I'm sure that is always how it goes. I should have written this down or something. And Henry, I know I have also been a bit odd around you, but you have still been kind as if you know who I am. So I wanted to thank you for that. It has been nice to see you.
It had been a while.
Well, I think if we were under different circumstances, for the way that we met and the conditions under which we met, I think you would probably be, or I should say, I get the impression you would be someone who would be difficult not to like.
I don't know about that, but we liked each other, so it makes sense perhaps that you think so. I will take the compliment.
People think I'm difficult to get along with as well, so...
That is why we got along. I will miss you, Henry. I hope, though, you don't have much of a reason that you... I don't know if you can come back to the caravan, but... I would like to see you again someday.
I suppose in that case I'll have to make sure to come back.
Okay. And I know they sort of hide their face in their hands. I know we are about to travel together for some time. I just... I don't do this sort of talk... if I don't get it out now, it is not going to happen, and Ophelia will kill me, so...
I don't think she would do that.
She would never do that.
I don't know how convincing that sounded.
She wouldn't. What?
It is an exaggeration.
She can hold a bit of a grudge.
Did you know she is a Toivo?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Her family has loads of money.
Oh. So are you guys like fighting because you're both rich?
No.
Are you business competitors?
No, it's more of... Listen, for what it's worth, she is right to some degree. Whoa. Maybe she's done a little bit more to reject the parts of her family that she doesn't agree with than I have.
Ah.
She was supposed to marry like my great grand uncle or something like that.
What?
How old?
You have faith?
There was probably more great. Yes, I have some fae in my family. Why are you looking at me like that?
It's just she had mentioned some messy business with an ex. I had no idea it was one of your relatives. I hope that hasn't complicated things.
It is a distant
No,
relation.
yes, of course. Never mind.
You know, I didn't mean to break up everything, but I had been meaning to ask, speaking of relationships, did we ever have a conversation about your relationship with gender? I'm realizing that sounds terrible out of context, but I just mean with the recent conversation that we had with Kian reminded me of you, and I was curious, am I hallucinating that, or...
And we did. You said so much of the same thing, actually. And that is how we met in the first place, actually. I wanted to get your help, and then I changed my mind.
Wait, so you are remembering things?
Just a vague kind of impression, sort of memory thing.
That is... I hope you only remember the good things.
I mean, I don't mind remembering more of you.
I also would not mind, hopefully, if you have not changed too much since then. I don't want to give a bad taste in hindsight.
You are always so quick to self-flagellate.
I don't want to give a bad taste in hindsight.
You are more likable than you give yourself credit for.
You have no right to say this to me.
I think that I do, in fact.
Maybe we could just say you're both unlikable and then it would be pleasing.
We can all
Perfect.
be unlikable.
Kian.
Like, it seems like that has thrown them off a bit. Not in a bad way.
He's smiling a bit more than he was before, like beneath his words. Kirit, I know you have your own shits going on. So any kindness and company from you has been appreciated, and gives you a little wink.
Oh my.
I don't expect anything more in case that was misleading. I wish I could do something to help your situation. Unfortunately, it is not something I know much about, obviously.
That seems to be the pattern among people we meet. I wouldn't expect.
It does. So I just have appreciated your presence and kindness.
Likewise.
They glance over at Virgil. You asked me what you can do to be better, because you certainly could be. What do you keep apologizing for?
It just feels like it is owed.
Why?
I don't know. It's probably just to relieve my own guilt, not just something you need.
What are you guilty about?
Your situation.
Why are you guilty about my situation?
Because I feel like I could have changed it, and
Did you not change it?
I suppose I did.
So what are you apologizing for? For me being here?
No.
Is that not what you did?
See, I want to apologize now, but I think that is a trap. Yeah.
Well, if you tell me what you are apologizing for, maybe not.
For turning you into this.
But you didn't.
It feels like I did.
You didn't.
Okay.
This was Sterling. You brought me back, and you apologized for it. How is that supposed to make me feel? Be considered? That perhaps I would prefer being here than not, and it is not your doing that I am not here, that I was not here. That was Sterling.
I know it was.
So what are you apologizing for?
Nothing. For nothing. Can I say I'm sorry for that?
No. Or you can, if you want.
Well, what do you need from me?
Errol looks from Virgil to everyone else. I understand that Sterling is in a difficult sort of position, and that he is very sad and handsome and charming and does not have the support that you hope that he would, and that he is a very a likable man. But it feels like no one sees what he has done. And I know you all know. And no one cares. And you are doing so much for him. To understand Virgil, because he is Rowan and you are you, but it is does not feel good, because I just saw him do something terrible, and then I continue to hurt you all in a similar way, and you don't seem to care about that either, which is concerning as well.
It's not the same. You do know that. It's not the same.
Sure, it is not the same. He could have stopped his...
Listen, as someone who's been through both, I would definitely much rather take a short bite for sustenance purposes. It's really not that bad.
Being mauled by a lion? Yeah.
Yes.
But that was then, and I am not certain if it is going to get worse or not.
but I think perhaps it will, because I am going to be here in the oceans, and I can feel it is getting worse.
Hey, listen. Maybe Look, I know I haven't done the best at accepting that this is kind of shit. But please believe me when I tell you it's not the same. I don't know how it feels to be out in the oceans for long, but I know you can do it. I know you can do it for a long time without getting worse. He travelled for years without anyone but Ophelia knowing.
The part of me that normally is protecting me from the oceans is far away now. So I don't know if that is going to make it different from your friend. I am not confident that my situation is the same.
I know, in a way, Lachlan chose the people who are here because they could help protect him. I think, I don't know if Ophelia mentioned, I think it helps if you're drinking blood that is fey touched, but also being around people who have that protection kind of helps cancel it out.
I also think that just because your circumstances aren't the same doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going to go to shit. Part of, at least for me, why I'm doing all of this is it's not that I'm out here. Oh yes, I forgive Rowan, not that would even really be my place, but I don't think it stops and ends with him. And I would hate for someone else to go down that pipeline. Possibly the circumstances that he was in led to that situation. And you seem to be taking steps to not be putting yourself in that sort of a situation.
When you say situation, you mean killing my friends?
I don't think it will get to that point. Generally speaking, people don't go from, I would never kill my friends in a million years, to immediately killing their friends. It usually is something that kind of, builds up over time, and maybe I just really want to pin everything on Nevane, and they directly contributed to the circumstances that led up to that. But
You could have stopped anytime you wanted to.
Is that true?
Of course it is.
He has control like that?
He did. But of course you will not think so. Nothing is his fault.
no. Using your own words, then couldn't you, in theory, stop any time you wanted?
Yes.
So you don't have to get to that point.
I do not know. I would not allow that.
Yeah.
I want someone to be pissed at Rowan.
You missed that part for me.
Then it must have been very short-lived.
I spent 2 years out there. Some of it was angry. If seeing it would have helped, I wish you could have.
I've seen the person that Rowan has become. I don't get angry easily, but it makes me sad. I understand where you're coming from, but I can't be angry long.
He works for Nevane to keep other people safe from him. That's stupid, but that's what he thinks he's doing.
That does not make any sense. You can't do it for much longer anyway. You looked like shit when I saw him. I don't know.
No, I understand.
Listen, the important thing is that even if we're not angry, you can still be angry with him. I know it would be great, probably, to have someone to share that with. At least personally, I'm not going to tell you to not be angry with him. If someone killed me, I'd probably be very angry with them.
I don't want to be angry with him. He was my friend.
But you are. And
Of course I am.
So I'm saying if you need to scream at him when he can't hear you, you can. I certainly tried it. It helped to some degree.
I think if our new friends here are screaming from the room, they would be quite alarmed.
And we have a perfectly good bag where no one else will hear you.
Honestly, I think someone else that's not just me needs to talk back to Rowan for sure. I think he needs to hear it sometimes.
I did not mean for the conversation to be about Sterling. And the conversation is always about Sterling. I meant it to be about you and me, Virgil. But that is a non-existent without Sterling. I guess I still have not quite figured that out, so I should not have even brought this conversation up.
No, I'm glad you did.
I just want you to stop apologizing for my being here.
Okay. Yeah, done. I'm glad you're
Thank you.
here.
Are you?
Yes.
Maybe one thing that you've missed from all of this is how Virgil was before you came back. There's a difference. He's happy that you're here.
Thanks, Kian.
How does Virgil look right now?
Stressed?
Does he look as stressed and devastated as you look right now?
Yeah.
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 Does not look very happy.
I don't think I've ever really seen him very happy.
I'm probably skewing the mood.
None of this actually is good to you, but I think your hearts are in the right place.
Look, I was in fucking shambles, okay? I'm glad you're here.
Good. That is all. Class dismissed.
Errol. Sorry. You know about me, right?
Yes, I know about you.
Is that going to be a problem?
They sort of soften a bit. What do you mean?
I would understand if you're not super comfortable in my presence.
The situation is not the same.
I don't know how different it could be.
Sterling was actively making himself worse, and he knew he was, and continued to do so despite the people around him telling him to stop. You, on the other hand, do not have control over if this is better or worse, and you are
Here in the oceans?
trying to fix it.
Yes. Just know that for any of you, if I become dangerous, I wouldn't hold it against you to, take me out or injure me or whatever you need to do.
We have ways to not hurt you, I think.
You have your new necklace, don't you?
I don't even know if Dalen and Dimitri know if that will truly stop a transformation.
Well, on 2 separate occasions, we've been able to get you to come down non-violently, so we are at a 100% success rate so far.
I think you should all agree that you'll do what you have to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we won't let you hurt anyone.
Thank you.
I also don't want to hurt anyone. And I know I will, even if it's just to stop myself from hurting someone else. So,
And just by Henry, he likes it apparently.
Well,
Yeah, deny it. In front of everyone. Come on.
Or is it just Errol that you want to bite you?
to be fair, I haven't been bitten by Kian before.
That's not true.
Oh yeah.
Then, to be fair, I'll give the same to you, Kian, that I gave to Errol, where it's really not that bad.
Sure. Yeah. We're all
And for the
fucked.
record, it's not something that I seek out in a pleasurable sense. It's more of a I don't like to see my friends suffering, and if the only thing that it takes is a little tiny bite to get them to come back to their senses, that is a minuscule price to pay.
But there should be a plan in place.
Well, we know what will work, don't we?
Sorry, I'm confused.
Stakes have kept you immobile before.
Yeah. I was, of course, talking to,
Perhaps that's more of a
I meant-
last resort. That sounds pretty.
I'm not saying I'm going to stab him in the heart. I'm saying it was in your shoulder before and you couldn't fucking move. You wanted a solution, I gave you one.
Yeah, but I think perhaps Lioness is asking for help before the steak becomes necessary, as in maybe a daily breakfast, something like that.
that's more what I was trying to bring up right now. Sorry, it's a bit uncomfortable for me to talk about that, but, sure, yes, maybe we should all be carrying around steaks. You have my permission if it gets to that point.
Stakes and bottles of blood, got it.
How hungry am I feeling right now?
Hungrier than you have so far since you woke up. Since you stepped into the oceans, you have been feeling worse. It is more like a pain. And there is like a longing there that can sort of be described as hunger, but it is not hunger in the same sense as when you were a little boy.
Well, it wasn't too bad before. I don't think I need it daily or anything, but it does. They kind of glance over to Errol. It feels worse out here. Maybe it would be better if it was more frequent.
I'm open to working something out.
Yeah, we can take it in turns.
Speaking actually of turns, there's no chance of that?
From my understanding, it's a bit more of a process.
Hmm.
We can figure this out later, not right this second.
Do you need something right this second?
Soon.
Okay, just let us know. That goes for you too.
What? Are you just asking if I am hungry?
I'm saying let us know if you are.
Right.
Even though it, I don't love talking about this.
Virgil, you don't.
Just keep give a thumbs up to Errol.
Yeah.
I see you doing it.
Errol looks at the thumbs up and to Kian into the thumbs up and then gives one in return with still the sort of raised brow look of disbelief, but does so anyway.
Charmed by Kian at last.
Yeah.
So, Virgil, you're not going to now reveal that you too are afraid of losing control of yourself, or?
Yeah, we're going around in a circle, actually.
Feels a bit pointed. No, not so much losing control.
Well, I can't make the mood lightning comment about myself. Henry, are you going to now reveal that you can't control yourself for some reason or another?
Are you?
No.
Okay.
So you can make the comments you just did.
Well, now I did. But it would have been weird out of context, don't you think?
You can pull anything off.
Someone has fixing me.
It's pretty nice to sit up on the roof. Look at the stars.
I'll come with you, if you don't mind.
Of course, there's plenty of room. Especially compared to down here.
Virgil, I'm not sure if you're planning to meet them on the roof or not. Would you mind if I asked Errol something? Just briefly, in private?
Yeah, sure. As he goes, he will stop by Errol. Thank you for telling me. I didn't realize how I was making you feel, so thank you for telling me.
You're welcome.
Can I just quickly insight check if I were to go in for a hug? Would I get pushed away?
Do you want to start chatting?
Yeah,
Just do it.
Hang on. I do it. I rolled a lucky 7. I'm doing it.
There is a half second of resistance. Just long enough for you to think maybe you should be loosening the hold of your arms around him, but then Errol just sort of leans into it. Lets out a shuddering sigh. I just want things to be okay between us.
Things are okay.
Not yet.
We will be. Okay, you're welcome to join us on the roof after whatever it is Henry has. And he will let go and follow Kian and Kirit. He will leave Blossom just like laying in the corner. And she will get up and lay down next to Errol, up against their boots.
Errol just immediately takes his fingers into her mane and looks to Henry. What is it?
Yes, well, one question, very briefly, since you seem like the sort of person who is not afraid to be blunt, do you think I'm an idiot for going through with, he taps the necklace that has the his gem in it.
Before I answer, I want you to remember who you are talking to.
I'm remembering.
Unfortunately, my gem is missing, but I did exactly the same. No, I do not think you are an idiot. There is much to be gained. You can feel it, I hope. I know you are completely exhausted, but the oceans should be lighter for you.
Farther away, but not bad, I suppose.
Well, that is good, and supposedly this is going to help you with your curse situation that I have been hearing about, and I think it is worth a try, and I am glad you are doing something besides just making jokes and letting it be. But unfortunately, I am certain you will have moments when you regret the decision. But that is just part of it.
Okay. But thank you. I just wanted, not that I don't think Virgil's being honest with me, but...
Oh, what is it that is... Oh, what is making you doubt your choice?
Well, not quite so much of a doubt, more of trying to figure out how much of the apologies, but complications I've seen in the folks who are involved in the Dawn Shepherd program is coming directly from the whole gem business, and how much of it is perhaps organizational.
None of us would like Sterling if you are worried about something like that happening to you. His situation was different. The way that he was training was different, and you will not be put through that, so it will not worsen you as it did him. We all had certain issues physically, but there is good to make up for the bad. I don't know, it is complicated, and I hope it is not too hard on you.
I think I'll be alright, but... No, I think I'll be alright.
You typically are, so I think so too.
Well, I'd hate to keep you, or if you want to stay here, that's also fine. I am not your employer, so...
I was hoping If you wanted company, I was hoping to stay. But if you don't, I understand. It has been a lot of hectic activity, and I'm sure you are tired.
Well, I've been asleep for the better part of the day. I think Ox keeps cards in his bag of holding. If you're a cards man.
If I don't know how to play, you can teach me.
Yes. Certainly, of course. Henry will get up to fish around, and there are definitely cards that are kept in Ox's bag, beside the smut novels. The spicy romance. For some reason, I'm blanking on like 2-player card games, but I'm
Go
just,
fish.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my brain, I'm just gonna go with the first one, just go fish, which seems like probably tired Henry's like mental level. Like, yeah, I do love me some like poker or blackjack, but like that's gonna like I still want to win those. Where like go fish is a little more random. Like there's not a like heavy strategy to go fish.
Excellent. You play Go Fish.
Go fish.
Errol, brushes away the beginnings of tears from that whole debacle and sits down with you, Henry. And I think Errol does know how to play Go Fish, so you do not have to teach them. And the rest of you go out onto the roof. Lizzie glances at you all as you crawl past him to get to the rooftop.
Bree waves.
They're like, who the fuck?
Lizzie acts like he's seen Bree before. Like, he doesn't bat an eye.
Bat?
What?
Just make sure you don't fall off.
Unless you're Kian. Kian plays some music and looks at some stars, but they're going to send a little message to Ox. I'm assuming you're up. But sorry if I've woken you. We're safe. We're with the winds. Can you meet us in 2 weeks? Miss you.
In nowhere with Georgette. Still working on a new project. Meet me over this way instead. Glad you're safe.
We can probably do that. I'll ask Leah. Glad you're safe. Lots to catch you up on. But we're all good. So, it sounds like Ox needs a bit more time. And if it works out with the winds, maybe we could meet him around nowhere.
I mean, yes, if that is not a problem for your friends.
We'll get to that next. There's always something to be done somewhere. Or nowhere.
I think Virgil does chuckle.
Do you hear another laugh join Virgil's? And when you turn to see, Lo is sitting beside you on the rooftop.
How the fuck?
It's a rooftop. We're going. He's here.
He turns to look back at you. There's a confused look in return back to you all. Y'all got a cigar? And that is where we'll end our session for tonight.
What the fuck?
I know! So are they the patron saint of appearing on a rooftop whenever we're on a rooftop looking at the stars? Has anyone else ever seen Lo? Real question.
Lizzie's here.
Can Lizzie see him? If anyone in this world goes up on a roof and looks at the stars, do they appear, or is it just for us freaks?
Or does the roof have to be moving?
I'm not looking at you.
Are you recording this?
This is our bloopers. This is our red stringing. We don't do it in the chat. We do it here.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And a special thanks to our Ko-Fi supporters, Sky, Maelstrom Star, Flowerfield, Xbox Unofficial, and Kane, for the starlight you shine. I see it from here. If you'd be so kind, please go on and leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube streams, and join us on our Discord server to speak with us and tell us your own tales from your own worlds. Go on and take a look there at our link tree to find maps and portraits as well. Our background music is by Marika Shantz, and our intro music is by Ben McElroy. Our official art is by our very own Corey, voice of Virgil, at Crow Queen on Twitter. Now, come and join me by the fire and look up at the sky. See the stars? They're still telling us their story.
Been building up a wall, laying mortar onto brick. Been building up a wall, 'cause you just make me sick. When that wall's between you and me, that's the way it should always be. And I've been filling up the sea, mixing water in with salt. I've been filling up the sea, 'cause this was all your fault. When we stand on separate shores, I'll simmer just a little more. Always fighting over something these days, crying over nothing either way. You've been building up a railroad, laying rails and stakes and wood. You've been building up a railroad, like it'll do you any good. When that train is on the tracks, we can put all this at our back.